Quick video, kind of update to a trapping video I did a few years ago out here in the hunt club. So this is actually one of those great places you can put a trap, right? Like that right there. So of course the raccoons, possums, they're going to use bridges too, just like we do to get across drainage canals like this in timber company land. So a few things I've learned since then, some lessons learned over the past few years, this past year especially. So what I did last year, I just left all these traps. I didn't set them, just left them once the season was over, so I didn't have to dig them up, put them back in the ground. Kind of trying to save some time, also I guess being a little lazy. So, but you can see here how scraper has come through and scraped this road. Well, if I had it like right in here somewhere, which I have several traps like that have now been covered up because of this. Didn't really anticipate the loggers coming in and scraping like that, or the timber company land, whoever it was, one of the two. So I ended up having, looks like we have several traps covered up. We had snow on the ground last week too, so it made it a little even harder to find them, but I should be able to, hopefully I'll find a few, be able to dig them up. But this is the best thing to do. So you set them off the road that far, at least probably 6 feet, maybe more. So there's no chance of scrapers coming by, covering them up, or even hitting them and tearing them apart. Or loggers coming in here with their heavy equipment, dozers and everything that they do, and it'll just run over them sometimes. So it's a constant thing you gotta keep in mind on this timber company land. If you don't own the land, it's kind of hard to predict sometimes when they're going to be out here. They try to tell us, but that doesn't always work. So another quick thing is I set like a little ammo box like this, put a little bit of cat food in a container like this. Hammer Time, he makes some good raccoon bait as well. But and here's just some Meow Mix original cat food, dry cat food, and have some fish oil. There's another new thing of fish oil I get from Fleming's Traps, and marshmallows. So this is some cheap Walmart big marshmallow, and I have some cheap sardines in oil from Walmart as well, as a little, so if you want to mix it up a little bit, add some concoctions. That tends to be really good combo for me. Dry cat food, just enough to cover the trigger. Maybe put half a sardine on top of that, squeeze a little sardine juice in there, or if you have bottled fish oil, squirt a little bit of that in there. Doesn't take much. And then top it off with a big white marshmallow. That's a visual cue for animals. They'll see that. They say white traps are good too, to help attract them to the trap just by vision alone. And also with that, but the main purpose I do that is so if that big white if I'm driving by here in my dirty Bronco checking traps, if I see that white marshmallow right there, it means it hasn't been tampered with, and I can just move on and keep running down the trap line for all the other traps. If it's gone, it's probably been tampered with, or you have something trapped. So that's what I do. So don't be lazy like me. Pull your traps, or at least move your traps far enough off the roads where they won't get covered up or tore up by timber or logging company equipment. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And always look for good water or bridges like this, or logs across canals. Those are great places. Or obvious game trails they're going to be on. They'll walk those too, and walk right by that, sniff it. They're little gritty suckers. They'll tear all that up and get trapped more times than not. Look for tracks along roads, or tall tale signs of them, of where they like to go and walk. So that's typically what I do. I try to keep them all along the main road, so none of the offshoot roads that will just take me forever to check. Going off the main road constantly just adds tons of time. This place is over 3,000 acres. It takes me at least 2 hours, probably 3, but there's a lot of traps that are a lot of critters trapped to check them all. So I'm just keeping them on the main road. They travel these roads too, and if those offshoot roads, that'd probably be a good place to put one at that intersection. So you don't have to go down those roads and it just eat up your time or waste time. So that's what I try to do. A lot of times those offshoot roads are really messy, really muddy, hard to get down. You get your vehicle all covered in mud like my Bronco is right now. So just less to clean up, I guess. Well, that's a little quick update on trapping, coon trapping here in South Carolina. So that's about it, and happy trapping and happy hunting.